So the Middle Maine Initiative is a program of Hudson River Housing's Community Building and Engagement Department, and we're focused on creating a strong, creative, and vibrant neighborhood in Middle Maine, Poughkeepsie, which is part of the Main Street Commercial Corridor. And we have a three-pronged approach to doing that: resident and business engagement, neighborhood marketing and promotion, and property redevelopment and streetscape improvement.
Hudson River Housing has taken a very unique approach to community building in Middle Maine, and it starts with a very grassroots effort. They've really engaged the community, the small businesses that make Middle Maine as vibrant and diverse as it is. They've gotten young people from the community involved in the efforts through neighborhood walks, community meetups, pop-up art shops. They've reached out to young professionals within the community for happy hour events, and just really taken a very hands-on approach to the whole effort.
My name is Rahman Moore. I run APJ Boxing Club in the city of Poughkeepsie on Catherine Street. First of all, when people come into communities and say they want to revitalize, sometimes what they want to do is push the people that are there out and then move new people in. And one of the strengths for me with them was they were really adamant about working with the existing community.
I think the strengths that Hudson River Housing has taken in revitalizing Middle Maine is that it's focused so much on the people who have chosen to live here. That includes me. I just live a few blocks away off South Cherry Street, and I chose Poughkeepsie. So I think that people who want to live here need to be involved, and Hudson River Housing knows that, so they've involved them in all kinds of ways.
In the 19th century, there were newspapers all around the country, from Kansas City to San Francisco, that would have stories about Poughkeepsie. This was a very important city at that time. In Poughkeepsie, there were a number of small factories around, garment factories, very important for women in terms of women's work, and sewing and so what. There was a Seneca button factory, very important. The underwear factory was one of those, and actually one of the largest ones. As you can see from the building itself, it was a massive undertaking.
The owners of this factory were fairly progressive from what we can tell from some old newspaper articles that we found. It was two men who owned the factory. They had a tennis court on ground so that the employees could have a chance to take a break from the monotony of their work. There were landscaped flower gardens on the grounds, and we've sort of replicated that, or at least used that as inspiration for a small pocket park that we've created in the front of the building. We also are excited to think of ourselves as the next in a line of progressive owners of this landmark building in the city of Poughkeepsie, and putting it to use again in the 21st century for some really important community uses.
Well, it's going to bring a vibrant uptown in that 500 block. We have been anxiously awaiting that underwear factory, and things are starting to happen there now. They've done a lot of work, in and around the area of the actual building, and now they're doing the windows. And when it's done, it's going to be an anchor. It's going to be an anchor to that 500 block. You have the public safety building right next door. With the addition of the underwear factory, it's going to be a place to live, a place to hang out, a place to do things, and it's going to really be a big boost for the city of Poughkeepsie when it's completed.
I think as Middle Maine starts to build up, there's going to be a natural spillover effect. So I'm here in the middle of the Arlington Business District in Poughkeepsie, which borders Main Street. And as this area has built up and seen success, and its businesses have started to thrive, I've seen that spill over into Maine. And I think as Maine builds up, it's going to spill over into other areas of Poughkeepsie. And I think it's going to happen by virtue of just building up one block at a time.
There's no straight line, and you have to be willing to kind of travel down this windy road where you can't always necessarily see what's in front of you, but as long as you have that end result in mind. And for us, that end result, sort of the bumper sticker, I like to call it, is
revitalization without gentrification, and that's really sort of the long-term outcome that we're trying to achieve.